And we are live, folks. This is the Young Conservative. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm doing it this way. The only reason for this live stream is because it's easier for me to upload it to my YouTube channel. Because, like, I'm only doing every Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, for, like, live streams, I want people on here and shit. But, that's not going to be the case for a while. I can tell that already. So, let me get all adjusted here. And I'm still not even using this fucking thing besides for a prop. Gear is on the way, though. Anyways, let's get into what the fuck we're getting into right away. And this is the Cuomo Wonder Twins. I stumbled upon this clip while I was working the other night. And I had to make a video even before my gear got here. So,
Governor, my last question is about the state of the state. What do you foresee the next few months? Obviously, I mean, the president made clear, and you've made clear in this interview.
I see that the government shouldn't have the fucking rights in the first place, let alone still, after a fucking year, to keep everybody out of work. But, you know.
That it's by population, but we have a lot of people. We need a whole lot of vaccine supply until our city and our state are vaccinated. Can you just...
Yes, because everybody needs to be vaccinated to stop the spread, even though it doesn't stop the spread.
Play out. I mean, restaurants, and to live in New York is to love your local restaurant, and to feel a connection to a lot of the family-owned restaurants. They are really suffering. I know there's no respite to the ban on indoor dining. Can you just take us through the industries that you think will have to wait the longest to see relief in New York State?
Well, we have our positivity rate is going down. Our hospitalization rate is going down. We're over what we call the holiday spike, and we had predicted all of this, Nicole. Starting Thanksgiving, people start celebrating for the holidays. We ask people to celebrate.
Even though I told them not to, even though I went and traveled with my fucking family out of the state, not only out of the city, not only with more than 10 fucking people, but out of the state, because rules for thee, but not for me.
Smartly, masks, etc. But more social activity. We saw the spike. We're on the other side of the mountain. The positivity is coming down. The hospitalization rate is coming down. So we're going to be opening up more economic activity. The restaurants in New York City, we're still watching. But the numbers are all good and are all trending good. So short term, that's the window. Long term, we have to watch these new strains. If they're right about that UK...
Don't forget, he said, removal and detention of any person's contacts or traces, basically anybody, your whole fucking house, if you have COVID, out that bitch. The removal and detention, NewYorkSenate.gov, go look it up.
A strain being dominant in March.
For any communicable disease. Any. So if you get the common cold, you're out this bitch. Your family's out this bitch. Off to the gulag. Off to the detention camp.
You'll see numbers go back up. A strain, these new strains. If they're right about that UK strain being dominant in March, you'll see numbers go back up. Now, I don't know if they're right. Right? Nobody's been here before. And frankly, the experts have been wrong before. But that's something we're watching. Wow. The more people vaccinated, the better. This state...
Why? Do people only have COVID if they only show symptoms? Because the only people that go in to get tested are the people that feel like they may. Right?
We have a very high vaccination rate. We're waiting on
Not very, proving what I just said, but definitely makes sense. I mean, why do more people need to get vaccinated? It doesn't stop the spread. It doesn't stop you from getting it. It just stops you from having the symptoms.
Vaccine, your point earlier about the more people vaccinated, the better. This state We have a very high vaccination rate. We're waiting on vaccine.
Even though I'm responsible for 10% of the deaths in this country.
Your point earlier about can the federal government allocate more to states that are faster in allocating is something that I think they should consider. But 6 months, as the president just laid out, to buy 600 million doses, that's the realistic time frame. And
what the fuck did you just say?
That's the president just laid out to buy 600 million doses. That's the realistic.
600 million doses. Yeah, because you have to have them twice. You have to get the vaccine twice. You have to get it once and then another 28 days. All to stop the symptoms. It's a fucking crock of shit. And I'm mad at Trump for even trying to get a vaccine for a virus that he knew was not that fucking deadly. A 1% death rate. He knew that. He knew that. And I'm pissed that he let them use it as a fucking whim. Because if he didn't, because they had blown up COVID so badly that if Trump didn't do anything about it, everybody, even the Trump fucking supporters, were gonna be pissed. Not me personally, but a lot of the Trump supporters would still be pissed. Because a lot of people are taking this more seriously than it needs to be. That's why they call me a fucking piece of shit, because I don't wear a mask at a birthday party. Because I don't want to wear the mask going inside the doors until I sit down to go fucking eat, then I can take it off. I'm a piece of shit for that. I don't give a fuck about grandma. I don't give a fuck about nobody. Because I don't want to wear a fucking mask. Even though it doesn't do shit. Oh my god. Oh my fucking... 600 million? Why? Why? Have all 330 million Americans said that they were going to get the vaccine?
Time frame. And
they're going to make
6 months sounds like a lifetime.
Listen.
The president just laid out to buy 600 million doses. That's the realistic time frame. And 6 months sounds like a lifetime. Especially when people have gone through such a...
Did you hear her laugh? 6 months sounds like a lifetime. Yeah, I just get paid like $1 million a fucking year to tell you all the CIA bullshit. So like, I mean, no biggie. People starving to death. People can't feed their fucking kids. They're losing their livelihoods. They're losing the businesses that have been in the family for 100 years. Losing their car. Losing their homes. Losing their food. Seems like a lifetime, I know. Oh, it's hilarious.
A long year, but it's also the truth. And what I've found all through this crisis is people value the truth. Have gone through such a long year time frame, and 6 months sounds like a lifetime. Especially when people have gone through such a long year. But it's also the truth. And what I've found all through this crisis is people value the truth. Give me...
Yeah, and I also value my fucking freedom. Piece of shit.
The information. Mm-hmm. Don't give me spin. Give me fact.
You have Andrew Cuomo trying to tell you about the fucking truth? Oh my god. No. Fuck Reagan, but he was right in the sense that if fascism comes to America, it's gonna be in the form of liberalism. It's gonna be... Sorry, I got my lighter. It's gonna be in the form of... We are here to liberate the oppressed. And now the oppressors are going to be oppressed. Basically, that's... I didn't put that very well, but I'm kind of fucking high. So, let's go.
Acts that don't change. Tell me the truth. The country hadn't bought enough dosages. They now are going to buy enough dosages. It's 600 million. It will take 6 months. That's the truth. And until we get there, we have to watch these new strains. And that's the truth. So it is going to be a long 6 months, especially after what we've gone through. That is the truth. And this state, I'm very proud of what New Yorkers have done because they have rallied. We were ambushed like no other state, Nicole. And again, it was from federal incompetence. They thought the virus was in China. It had left China, it had gone to Europe, and it came here for 3 months before they ever knew. Incompetent government kills people. Incompetent government kills people. More people died than needed to die.
Oh my fucking God. Thank God I didn't miss that shit. Sorry, folks, I got shit going on.
People. Incompetent government kills.
Oh, this is it. Yes. Let me go to my notes here because I'm a fucking scatterbrain fuck. Incompetent government lets 1 million small businesses shut down for a virus that has a 1% death rate, or letting people fall into poverty, lose everything they have, get evicted, put in detention camps, and sent to starve for public fucking health. That's what incompetent government does. That's what the fucking incompetent government does. You fucking scumbag. Fuck you! You're worse than J.B. Pritzker. Alright, motherfucker?
People. More people died than needed to die in COVID. That's the truth. And forget Democrat, Republican. As a person who believes in government and public service.
As a person who believes in big government and public service, as long as the public is actually the elite, and the fucking the elite is the fucking Christ, dude. Oh my God, dude. Fuck this motherfucker.
Needed to die in COVID. That's the truth.
Yeah, more people died from suicide than needed to die because you had them fucking locked in their houses. Oh. I get so angry, bro. I can't even speak straight. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
And forget Democrat, Republican. As a person who believes in...
More people lost their businesses than needed to. More people fell into poverty than more people fell into poverty than needed to. Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh my God. Government had more rights than it needed to. Or I should say more power.
In government and public service. And who has seen people die over this past year. That's why hearing President Biden is such a welcome relief. Having Jeff Zients on the...
Yeah. What a relief. The old fucking man who can't even speak and voted for every single bullshit motherfucking war. And sent his son to go fight in one of those wars, mind you.
In government and public service. And who has seen people die over this past year. That's why hearing President Biden is such a...
It was seeing people lose their fucking lives that pissed me the fuck off, Cuomo.
A welcome relief. Having Jeff Zients on the phone.
Their livelihoods.
And, Dr. Walensky.
Everything.
These are professionals. They understand...
Unless you pay this motherfucker off. So when you can open up your movie fucking studio 50 feet away from the lady who just spent $100,000 to open up outside. Was everything that she had in her pocket, but they said, fuck you. I don't want to hear this bullshit.
President Biden is such a welcome relief. Having Jeff Zients on the phone and Dr. Walensky. These are professionals. They understand that it's not spin and politics. You're talking about human life. And they went to work, and in 6 days, they're telling you the truth, and they have a plan to get it done in 6 months. That's a welcome relief.
Yeah.
Smoke a bowl, guys. You're probably not even as pissed as me. You're probably just laughing at me. But, Jesus fuck. Jesus fuck. If you don't see what's going on here, the bigger picture, it's a power grab. It's always what it's been. That's always what it's been. That's what it was with 9/11. That's what it was with fucking all the regime change fucking wars. That's what it was with fucking everything, dude. It's just a power fucking grab. Every single... Right now, they're fencing up the Capitol. Why is it? And it's going to stay that way permanently? And they're constantly going to have troops in D.C. now? They used the insurrection. What a fucking joke. They got me saying it now. They used the riot at the Capitol, which Trump didn't incite, which I'll get into later. But I'm going to do a whole video on that insurrection. I lost my fucking train of thought. Let's go.
Yeah, and just to your point, Tony Fauci looks 10 years younger, just being able to tell the truth and let the science speak for himself.
Oh, Fauci's telling the truth now. I thought he was telling the truth the whole time. I thought that's why we couldn't speak out against Fauci.
Itself, even when it isn't a good picture. Governor Cuomo, I have an
Trust Fauci. Trust Fauci. That's what they fucking told us the whole time. What are you talking about, bitch?
Just to your point, Tony Fauci looks 10 years younger, just being able to tell the truth and let the science speak for itself, even when it isn't a good picture. Governor Cuomo, I have an offer for you. The new president...
Yes, the science that says you could cut your dick off and be a woman. That kind of science. The kind of science that says virus that has a 1% death rate justifies fucking all of the world being shut down and forced in their fucking homes, welded their fucking door shut until they starve to death. Yep. That's science. That same fucking science.
And his team tend to speak between 4 and 6 to tell the truth and let the science speak for itself, even when it isn't a good picture. Governor Cuomo, I have an offer for you. The new president and his team tend to speak between 4 and 6. If you're ever interested and not busy, please join us and help us make sense of it. I think it's this peace that has never before existed since we've been in this time.
You see how buddy she is? You see how happy they are? Well, they are fucking, like, adoring this motherfucker. He was, according to all the motherfuckers, he was the leader of coronavirus. He was a symbol to look at for his leadership of coronavirus. What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke. The man who sent fucking elderly people to die in fucking nursing homes when they couldn't properly isolate because of COVID. Yep. He's a leader. He's a symbol.
Of coronavirus between the federal government and the states that everyone knows literally our lives depend on at this point. So we really appreciate your insights. Thank you, sir.
What about our livelihoods, bitch? Let's hear that again.
In this time of coronavirus, to tell the truth and let the science speak for itself, even when it isn't a good picture.
Buddy.
Governor Cuomo, I have an offer for you. The new president and his team tend to speak between 4 and 6. If you're ever interested and not busy, please join us and help us make sense of it. I think it's this peace that has never before existed since we've been in this time of coronavirus between the federal government and the states that everyone knows literally our lives depend on at this point. So we really appreciate your insights. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nicole.
What a joke. What a joke. So, let's look into fucking Cuomo's symbolic leadership. Out of the U.S., 1.4 million cases. New York, I'm sorry, what? No, hold on. Okay, that's why. Hold on. Okay, 26 million cases in the United States and 436,000 deaths. In New York, there is 1.4 million cases and 42,825 deaths. Out of 436,000, New York is responsible for 10% of the deaths in America. So, there's your symbolic leadership. Oh, and the strictest lockdown, some of the strictest lockdowns in the nation still give you a dark blue fucking map for some reason. I don't know why. I thought his symbolic leadership was really keeping fucking COVID under control. I mean, I really thought he had it on lock. Let's. Is it gonna load? Okay, that's not really what I'm looking for at all. Oh. God damn it. It's freezing up on me, folks. I apologize. Okay. Right, there we go. Yeah, look at this. Look at the whole nation. Look at that. let's see, who has... And Illinois has the third strictest lockdowns in the nation. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why is New York, with higher restrictions in Illinois, a darker state with more fucking cases and more deaths? Are you going to argue population because the only reason that is because in New York City we have Chicago. So, there you go. There's your symbolic fucking leadership. Cuomo's nursing home policies amid coronavirus a disaster, says ex-governor Pataki. May 1st, 2020. Former Governor George Pataki slammed Governor Andrew Cuomo's nursing home policies during the coronavirus pandemic as a disaster that they may have unnecessarily caused deaths of thousands of vulnerable elderly residents. Okay, hold on. Pataki also said he was dumbfounded as to why infected patients were sent to nursing homes instead of hundreds of unused beds at the two temporary hospitals at the Javits Center and the Navy's USNS Comfort Hospital ship. Because Trump didn't do anything, right? Right? And it's Trump's fault for those people that died in New York? Even though he's the one who sent those two hospitals to be set up for COVID? And Cuomo sent them back to the nursing homes instead to die and kill other fucking elderly people. But it's Trump's fault, right? Yep, there's your symbolic leadership. You know? So, obviously this title is the Cuomo Wonder Twins. So we're also going to get into the wonderful brother here, Chris Cuomo, who is a anchor for CNN, for those of you who don't know. And this little segment right here is called So Much for Being About the Constitution. And he's talking about the GOP. Which I agree, in some cases, like Mitch McConnell, blah, blah, blah. But he's talking about Trump here. And just watch.
This is the futility we face. 100 U.S. This is the futility we face. 100 U.S. senators taking their oaths of impartiality again today. And then, just 45 minutes after, 45 of 50 Republicans voted to drop the case against Trump. Just minutes after taking their oath. Why? They say the trial would be unconstitutional. They say this at the urging of Senator Rand Paul, who argued the Senate can't hold a trial of a private citizen now. Take a look at this. This really captures the sham.
Which I disagree with. Chris Cuomo is right in this respect. If Trump really did do something that was worthy of impeachment and being convicted of, then fuck if he's out of office. He should be convicted of it. Just like Obama should be convicted of his fucking war crimes for killing 90% innocent people in drone strikes. But nope, they won't impeach Obama over it. Nope, they won't impeach him for 2 wars to 7. Nope, they won't do that. Nope, they won't impeach Bush over lying us into Iraq. Nope, won't do it. Nope, no.
Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley raising their right hands and signing the oath book to swear they'll be impartial when they themselves fed the Trump mob the same lies he did and worse. Then they voted to overturn the election for him.
Which is not true. They did not vote. They did not vote to overturn the election. They voted to look into the election because there was more than enough circumstantial evidence to fucking justify a audit of the election. There was more than enough circumstantial evidence. The videos, there is so many videos of them sitting there scanning the same ballots over and over again. Them literally bringing boxes of fucking ballots in, and every single one of them is for Joe Biden. I thought they were done counting, and then by the fucking time we wake up, there's 30,000 more votes for fucking Biden over Trump. I thought they were done counting for the night. But they didn't vote to overturn the election. That's not what they voted for. That's a fucking straight up lie. That's a straight up fucking lie.
And worse. Then they voted to overturn the election for him, and after the Capitol attack, Now the people who are all about the Constitution are voting against following it. And they know.
Oh yeah, and Chris Cuomo, please tell me about the First Amendment. Please, or the Constitution at all. Please tell me. Oh, what is this? Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying? Little fucking play.
Now, too many see the protests as the problem. No, the problem is what forced your fellow citizens to take to the streets. Persistent and poisonous inequities and injustice. And please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Did you guys hear that? Let me just, for those in the back.
Problem. No, the problem is what forced your fellow citizens to take to the streets. Persistent and poisonous inequities and injustice.
Based on race, right? Even though there's black DAs, black police chiefs, black judges, black district, I already said that, fucking a black president twice. Yep, it's based on race. Totally. Black cops all over the nation. But they don't talk about when a black cop kills a white unarmed man. Just like my friend's brother who got beaten outside of his fucking house into a coma in front of his 2 daughters while they were watching out the window. But there's no national news headlines over it. No. He's dead now. Beaten into a coma in his front yard in front of his 2 fucking daughters by the cops. But there's no fucking news headlines over it. Because he was a white man. There's no fucking riots over it. There's no riots over it. You can't tell me that there's any reason, just like there was no reason for George Floyd to be killed, even though it wasn't on purpose, because he said he couldn't breathe while he was in the cop car where there was nobody on him. He was in the cop car in the back by himself and he said he couldn't breathe. He asked to be put on the ground. Watch the video. Anyways, it's not based on race. It's not. Like I said, where's the nationwide protest over my buddy's brother getting killed, beaten to a fucking coma, put on life support, had to pull the plug? You tell me about injustice.
And please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Oh, well, you want me to show you, Chris? It's very convenient because I just so happen to have this pulled up right here. The First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people to peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for a readdress of grievances. I think you missed the key word there, dumbass. Now, there's Chris Cuomo's coverage of the insurrection compared to his coverage of the BLM riots over the summer.
Here's Trump's take on what's happening.
Our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, and others.
No, he is gripped by that. This country is gripped by outrage over abuse of force. He never mentioned that. He didn't mention the murder. He didn't mention any injustice. He didn't mention the pain. And he didn't mention the hurt. And you know why. That man is the only person elected to
Yep, even though he sent an FBI investigation in the first 3 days of George Floyd's death. Yeah, he didn't care. Nope. Any fucking reasonable person was brought to tears by George Floyd's death. Watching that video was absolutely horrific. Any reasonable person will tell you that, left or right. Get fucking real here, folks. America is not fucking racist. Anybody sees a man getting fucking pressed with a knee on his neck, begging to get fucking let up, is gonna feel for that person. Okay? Just because I say it's not based on race doesn't mean I don't give a shit. I just don't think that he was killed because he was black. I think he was unjustly killed. Why is it always about race? Why isn't it? I thought it was about police brutality. Why does it matter about race? Why does it matter that it was a white cop and a black man? Because like I said, nobody gave a fuck that my brother, that my buddy's brother was killed by the cops. Nobody gives a fuck.
Represent us all, and yet he looks out only for himself. Always, in all ways.
Is that subtle? Chris Cuomo is always looking out for the fucking narrative of the left and the fucking CIA and the establishment. It's fucking.
He is a manifestation of all the problems we're dealing with right now. He won't admit the truth. He won't acknowledge the pain that is on these streets. He ducks accountability for the lack of change, and he blames the victim. Dominate them. Stop the movement. Use the military. He's doing it with George Floyd, for so many other young...
Yes, stop saying all cops are bastards because you're the same fuckers who call the cops to your house when it gets robbed. Alyssa Mulatto? Yeah? You fund the police, huh?
Black men who've been in the same position. He's doing it with more than 100,000 preventable deaths for the 40+ million out of work.
Is Joe Biden responsible for the 20,000 plus deaths that have happened since he's been in office? You don't hear them saying that. No. With his 45 fucking executive orders or whatever the fuck he has now. Why is there no change? Come on, Biden.
Liberty and justice for all. Where? Look around this nation tonight. We search in city after city after city. We're seeing things that we don't want to see, but we're not dealing with why they're happening. Right? All the things that we make manifest in our pledge to the flag. Liberty, justice for all. Where? This is not a me thing. It must be a we thing. The majority must stand up for the rights of the minority. That's not just the American way. It's the only way. And that's why this president remains silent on the true story. When he takes to his rabid refuge of Twitter, he says what demagogues in the past have said.
Oh yeah, being for the Constitution, right? While sitting here being for the banning of the fucking 45th President of the United States. Tell me about how much you love the Constitution, Chris.
He champions those who play to bigotry. He lumps the aggrieved in with outside agitators as thugs. Just like demagogues, he wraps his actions in the might of the military, perverting the mission.
Who has more of a right to protest? The people that have been locked in their houses for over a year, and Eminem wants to sit here and say it's all about fucking white people wanting to get haircuts and then black people want racial equality. Get the fuck out of my face, bro. Fucking white people and black people, Native Americans, Asians, who gives a fuck about fucking race? Women and men own fucking businesses. They are losing their livelihoods. I don't give a fuck who you are. You are losing your rights. You are losing your ability to provide for your family. I don't give a fuck who you are. That is not okay. Who has more of a right, though? The people that have been forced to fucking starve and basically being baited to start a fucking revolution? Or the people who sit here and say that an innocent black man was killed because he was black, and so we're going to burn down innocent fucking families and apartment buildings and kill black people for Black Lives Matter, and burn down black owned businesses because Black Lives Matter.
Of our armed forces, and frankly, BSing you over his actual power. He knows he can't use the Insurrection Act unless a governor requests it, unless he can show that they can't protect themselves. He doesn't meet the standard. Nope.
What shows you can't protect yourself? The mayor of Seattle saying that Chaz is a summer of love. It's just a big block party. Meanwhile, the cops can't get in to help somebody who's bleeding out to death and being raped, who's being robbed. That's not an insurrection. No, that's not domestic terrorism. It's a block party.
Nobody's going to ask him for that kind of help. because we're better than that. He orchestrated conflict for maximum gain. That's why he's doing this. Visibility. Timing his speech until after police moved in on a peaceful protest he said he was allied with. Then fake.
Mostly peaceful protests. Meanwhile, there's a fucking fire burning behind me. Fuck CNN. Fuck CNN. I do have to say, that was a great thing that came out of those riots. They don't give a shit about CNN. They don't give a shit about CNN. CNN just pushes it. They went and fucking vandalized CNN's headquarters. Those protesters don't give a shit about CNN.
Bathe himself in the illusion of holiness, holding up the good book. Open it. Read it. Go inside that church. It's about social justice and catering to the community. Don't ask why. Why does he look to paint his opponents with the stink of anarchists and opportunists who taint what are overwhelmingly lawful protests? Why would he play to that small slice? Let's do it this way. Good. You're right. The left should claim them. Democrats, make your case. But the same goes for you, Republicans in the right wing. You want to say those are there? The president went out of his way to say, I don't see any right-wing groups there. Good. You want to defend them? Then you own them. And you know what? It makes sense. Not only do officials not agree with what you're saying about these fringe groups being the dominant players, but you want to play teams, that's fine. Because now things start to make sense. Finally. That's why the president says they're good people on both sides on Charlottesville.
Oh my fucking god, dude. I didn't even hear him say that. I didn't watch this whole fucking thing. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? How many fucking times do we have to say? He literally, watch the video for yourself. He said, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis or the white supremacists because they should be condemned completely and totally. He said that right after he said there were very fine people on both sides. You want to know why that's what everybody says? Because they cut it off right fucking there.
And in Michigan, the answer came today in another one of the demagogues' repertoire. Just propaganda. Listen to this and then we'll go.
Chris Cuomo wants to tell me about fucking propaganda? Meanwhile, pushing fucking Russia? Russia? Meanwhile, calling Trump a fucking dictator apologist and all this fucking bullshit because he wants to meet up with North Korea? What do you mean? That is historical. Are you fucking kidding me? Obama couldn't do it. And he made the peace deal with North Korea. Obama told him, North Korea is going to be your biggest problem. And Trump had it handled in what, 6 months? A year?
And I would also note the president's long history of condemning white supremacy and racism.
He has a history of being attached to discrimination. Housing, the Central Park 5, birth of...
If you believe that's essential, I understand, okay? And I don't think that the state went after those boys because they were fucking 5 black kids. What about all the other fucking black kids that were there? They just fucking picked them out. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? If Trump really believed that those kids raped that fucking woman, why should he be condemned as a fucking racist because he thought that fucking 5 teenage boys fucking raped that woman? It was bullshit. I watched that shit. It was so fucked up. That was so fucked up. But don't fucking sit here and tell me it's all about fucking race, man. And that Donald Trump is discriminating against black kids because fucking literally the whole what do you mean? The whole news was pushing, oh, these kids were fucking raping this one. Like, it was, everybody believed that. It wasn't special to Donald Trump. It wasn't special to racists. Okay? Plenty of non-racist people believe that those fucking kids raped that woman. I'm so tired of that shit. So tired of it. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Jesus fucking Christ. But it's old as fuck. It's old as fuck. I didn't even know that. It's always been a card that they played. I was watching this George Carlin bit. I might have said it in the other live stream. He was talking about stereotypes of fucking Republicans and all this shit. It was pretty funny, but yeah.
Prism.
It's always been a thing.
This is who he is, and this is not what we need right now.
In housing, he let a fucking homeless black woman who we found squatting in the Trump Tower, he paid her rent. I believe he still does to this day. Look that up. But I guess that's discrimination too, huh? He just used it as a token, huh? Right? Fucking Christ. If you do this, you're wrong. If you do this, you're wrong. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't understand. I don't understand. How can you say that? You know how many black men he's hired? What the fuck? There are black people in his cabinet that he picked. But I guess that doesn't matter. Because Joe Biden's really a racist too. And he was Barack Obama's VP. I shouldn't say too, because Donald Trump isn't. And you can't tell me that. He is. Because he's condemned it a million fucking times. And everything when it comes to a white person and a black person is racist. It's ridiculous. As fuck. As fuck. And it really does injustice for the real racist bullshit that should be pointed out and should be fucking condemned. Because you drown it all out. Just like calling Bernie Sanders a sexist.
Now, this is going to change because of people like you and me, the man coming up right now, D. Lemon. We will not be let out of this by anybody else.
Are we actually surprised? You're not surprised, are you?
By the way, Don Lemon is a fucking joke. Okay? Let me tell you, a fucking joke.
Yes, because I believe in people at some point doing what is right when their office demands it.
Except, why won't Trump acknowledge that the nation is hurting? Why won't Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon acknowledge that Joe Biden sent troops back into Syria on his first fucking day?
And I can be consistently disappointed by somebody in his position with the kind of guidance he has around him, saying so many bad things so often.
Guidance?
Who? There are smart people around him who know that he's not supposed to be saying what he said today.
Like?
He's got advisors who know better. I know they do.
I'm not surprised by the actions. I'm surprised.
I agree with that. Trump goes off script and his people are like, that's why he didn't win second term, because he goes against the establishment. Okay? Because he talks about the military-industrial complex. Because he talks about the fuck up with Iraq. Because he talks about all this shit. Because he talks about it. Okay? That's why he didn't win a second term. He exposed all of it. Why do you think politics was all fine and dandy? Everybody had their shit together on Capitol Hill until Donald Trump came.
By what he said. I should say the actions of how it all played out.
Bullshit.
Like a reality show. Not surprised by that. I'm surprised that about sending the military out and that whole message where he come.
Yeah, but not when they send the military out to cover D.C. permanently after the insurrection that was incited by Donald Trump. Fucking fuck.
Off as a modern day dictator.
That's just talk.
A dictator? Who's a dictator? The person that locks people in their homes? The person that wants to strip everybody away of their gun rights? The person that's for the censorship of the President of the fucking United States and anybody who agrees with him? Who's the fucking dictator? The one that topples fucking regimes worldwide for 47 years? Who's the dictator? Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo. Fucking unreal.
He can't do anything.
Okay, but still, he would like to. That's his.
Right, he would like to, but he
he's
can't.
playing a role. But do you remember the day when we were told that this president was going to come out and say something about his role in birtherism and Barack Obama, and that he was finally going to say, I was wrong,
Yeah.
what have you. You know what he did for a long time? He promoted his hotels. He got the media to go live. Promoted his hotels, and the last thing he said was, okay, Barack Obama was born in this country, and then he left the stage to not take questions.
Let me guess, that was racist too. Why? Why? Again, a lot of people in the media were pushing that Obama was not born in the United States. For whatever reason. And again, just like the Central Park 5, Donald Trump, as a private citizen, just a businessman, watching the news, sees that, just like a lot of other Americans did and believed it. Why is he not susceptible to believe in that too? Doesn't make it right, and he definitely pushed it. He definitely spoke about it like a motherfucker. But well, how is that discrimination? How?
And then he did that over and over and over. And guess what? The media kept falling for it over and over.
Exactly.
And over. And that's why I said today
Exactly.
that when you deal with someone like this, an administration like this, you have to be really careful about how you cover them and the strategy, because they're always trying to play you. It's a show. This is not about the American people. This is not about a democracy. This is about numero uno. Donald.
Yep. We're about democracy when we're pushing. When his fucking brother is pushing to fucking detain people in detention camps if they have any communicable disease. Yep. Mm-hmm. He's for democracy, right? He's for your fucking civil liberties, right? He's for the Constitution, right?
Trump. He is a showman. He is playing
You're
the
a
media.
fucking showman.
He wants to be reelected come
You're playing the
November,
people.
and nothing else matters. Doesn't care about police brutality. Doesn't care about how minorities are treated in this country. Doesn't care about any of that. He doesn't even care about the people who love him and laugh and, oh my gosh, hit Donald Trump. He doesn't care about those people. How many of those people can afford to stay in his hotels? None. Pretty much none of them. So,
Do you hear that? But I suppose the Hillary Clinton supporters and Joe Biden supporters came, right? What a fucking scumbag. What a fucking scumbag. Who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he? To say, probably 99% of Trump supporters can't afford to stay in his hotel. Yeah.
who love him and laugh and, oh my gosh, hit Donald Trump. He doesn't care about those people. How many of those people can afford to stay in his hotels? None.
Look at how snotty he said that.
So, how many of those people can afford to stay in his hotels? None. Pretty much none of them. So he does not
What a
care about
smart.
that. Before he was president, you knew him. Your family is from here. Your family grew up here. Did you see him hanging out with those kinds of people?
Nope.
Okay, then that answers your question. So,
Those kinds of people. I don't know, maybe because he's a fucking millionaire, at least multi-millionaire, billionaire fucking businessman who had ventures around the globe for such business. Why would he be hanging out with average fucking people? Why? Why? People surround themselves. Okay, average people hang themselves around average people. People that step up in life hang themselves around people that step up in life. People that do great in life hang themselves around people that do great in life. What the fuck? What about Hillary Clinton? How many blue collar folks is she hanging out with?
people who know him, people who are in the media, should have known today that he was going for the law and order play. And all of it was coming together. We're going to get the people in Washington. We're going to create a stir. The Attorney General is going to come out. He's going to look over the troops. And then they're going to go in. And this president is going to look strong for his, what? People. For his constituents.
We botched that
For the
last
Trump
part.
supporters.
That was one of the most lame things I've ever seen. what he did today. At the same time he was saying he was allied with peaceful protesters, he had people smashing into him with plexiglass shields and using tear gas on him. At the same time, it was a lie in real time.
Yeah.
He timed it perfectly.
Yeah. You know the last time we went to church?
No.
Even go inside. New Year's.
I'm sure Don Lemon did, right? You know, so many people are gonna be on my ass for this. I think religion is stupid in the first fucking place. But, especially people that cherry pick it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd rather you not have the fucking people stoning gay people to death in the middle of the fucking streets. But, how can Don Lemon walk into a fucking church? Isn't he gay? How can you be a Christian? And how fucking stupid to believe in religion in the first fucking place. How stupid of Don Lemon to support. Well, how stupid are Trump supporters to support Trump who don't give a fuck about his supporters? How stupid to support a God that doesn't give a fuck about you and wants his constituents to fucking stone you to death? Not exactly important, just saying. It's Don Lemon's logic.
You know what they say about people who are afraid to walk inside a church?
Yeah.
He held up a Bible, Don, out.
I don't know, maybe because people in church are judgmental like these two motherfuckers. They could call fucking a lot. How many Democrats believe in God? It's certainly a lot less than conservatives. I don't believe in God. But they're deplorables, right?
Outside a church that is known for social justice work in its community.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Didn't want him there. 2 Corinthians, I'm sure he read it as he went in. Thank you very much, Chris. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Oh, I'll see you later on tonight, by the way.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Brother.
And I can tell Don Lemon
Here's
didn't read the
Trump's
Old
take on
Testament.
what's happening.
Anyways. Oh, look at this. How many businesses were destroyed in the fucking riots? 1,500 over the summer. Unreal. And then the property damage. $2 billion. This is from the Foundation for Economic Education. George Floyd riots caused record-setting $2 billion in damage, new report says. Here's why the true cost is even higher. Now, I won't read into that, but you guys can check out the article. It's written by Brad Cuomo, or maybe that's who the photo was taken by. Anyways, yeah, go check it out. $2 billion for what? For what? Because a man was killed unjustly? Those riots should have stopped as soon as President Trump put in the FBI to do an investigation to get it taken care of and get George Floyd justice. It should have stopped right then, and the media should have been talking about that instead of Trump not talking about it constantly. What are you talking about? He made the speech and he talked about it. I don't understand. I don't have it pulled up, and I'm not going to look for it and have you guys sitting here. But, and then 25 American, let's see, when was this? Excuse me. July 22nd, 2020. At least 25 Americans were killed during protests and political unrest in 2020. Which is definitely going to be higher than that. Definitely. For sure. For sure. Kenosha. Minneapolis. Dude, all across the fucking nation, only 25 people. That's because they're not... It's the same amount of... The way they determine protest deaths is like kind of the opposite of COVID. Because like instead of everybody that dies from the protests, they say that it wasn't that. Like, then they'll admit... They probably said it was a COVID death for the people that died in the protests. That's probably what it was. That's why only 25 Americans died nationwide fucking civil unrest. Okay. With fucking buildings burned to the ground. Okay. Didn't Kyle Rittenhouse kill 2 people? And then 3 people died in Chaz in a matter of a week? And then the fucking Trump supporter who got killed? And then the Antifa dude who got killed? I forgot exactly where that was. But 25? Okay. And here I'm going to show you guys, this is the widow of David Dorn. For those of you who don't know, David Dorn was a 77-year-old retired police officer who was black, just so happened to be black. Not that that's really important, besides the fact that Black Lives Matter is the reason that he's dead. So, kind of ironic, just a little bit. But anyways, a 77-year-old retired police officer and business owner who was killed outside of his business trying to protect it during the riots. I believe he got shot. Yeah, he got shot. But, just trying to protect his business. A black man protecting his black-owned business during a Black Lives Matter riot and got killed. God, you can't make this shit up. Here's his widow. This did not have to happen. Nope. The point that America is at, we don't have to be at. We shouldn't be at. But it's motherfuckers like Chris Cuomo. Motherfuckers like Don Lemon, Rachel Maddow, Wolf Blitzer, Anderson Cooper, all talking heads for the establishment and the CIA.
Dedicated, loving life partner. Hello, my name is Ann Dorn. I'd like to introduce you to my husband David, father of 5, brother of 12, grandfather of 10, friend to thousands. He was the most kind, dedicated, loving life partner I could have hoped for. He had a big smile and a heart to match.
Served his community. I believe his career was over 30 years as a police officer. Served that same community he got killed in for protecting his business. What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke. Don't tell me about Black Lives Matter. Don't tell me that shit. Of course they do. Of course they fucking do. Who disagrees with that? Who the fuck disagrees with that? You're gonna sit here and kill people for it. For what? Why are you not pushing your senators and your legislators to fucking have more police restrictions, to ban the chokeholds, to have the criminal justice reform that Trump passed? Why are you not pushing that? Because it does come down to the states and local law enforcement at the end of the day. Don't let your police tell you how they're going to police you. Tell the police how they're going to police you. You must wear a fucking body cam and have that bitch on at all times. You must have your dashboard or your dash cam on at all times. You must have your GPS on at all times. You must fucking not fucking put people in chokeholds unless it really calls for it. You must learn how to not fucking hesitate in such a fucking quick manner and pull your fucking gun out so quickly. How about instead of 6 months of training, we have like 2 or 3 years? At least. To be a cop, to serve for 40 plus years, and then to continually train. Updatingly, required training. Because you shouldn't be able to be 400 pounds with a fucking beer gut bigger than fucking if I know, okay? The big fat jolly motherfucking Santa Claus, okay? Yeah, that's, yeah. You shouldn't be that fat and be a police officer. That is absurd. Absurd. Tell me how much training he's had lately. Okay? I'm sorry, but that's just the case. Like, because that cop is reaching to grab his gun or his taser because he can't chase nobody down. You see why that's an issue? I think most people agree with me.
He was blessed with the gift of gab, and that gift enabled him to touch souls
Gab.
and inspire people. especially young, enabled, and hard to match. He was blessed with the gift of gab, and that gift enabled him to touch souls and inspire people, especially young people. Oh, how kids loved him, and they really loved him back. Dave was all about service. He served 38 years in the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department and 6 years as Chief of Police as the Moline Acres Police Department. After 44 years, he retired.
Okay, so I guess I don't believe it was in the city that his businesses went, but still.
From law enforcement. But he never retired from helping a friend in need. Since he befriended every person he met, he was a very busy man. One example of that was his friendship with a young man named Lee. David met him when Lee was just a kid, after members of his family were attacked and murdered. Dave took a special interest in the boy. They bonded and their friendship grew and remained strong throughout the years. Lee eventually opened a pawn shop. He trusted Dave implicitly and asked Dave to help with security. David readily agreed. Whenever the shop's alarm would go off, the alarm company called Dave. He would investigate. If he got a call after I went to bed, he would wake me up and tell me he was going to Lee's, just to make sure everything was all right. Most of the time they were false alarms, triggered by a storm or animals. But I never rested easily until I heard Dave's key turn in the door, knowing he was home safe. The alarm that went off the morning of June 2nd was for real. It was a violent night in St. Louis. 4 officers were shot. Others were hit with rocks and fireworks. At least 5 businesses were damaged, looted, or set on fire. As the Officer Wellness Coordinator and CIT Coordinator with the police department, I was keenly aware of the rioting and spent the evening getting ready to mobilize support for officers who were impacted. After I'd gone to bed, David received a call from Lee's alarm company. The front door of the pawn shop had been breached. This time he didn't wake me up to tell me. He probably knew I would have tried to stop it or insist on going with him.
I know that all protesters definitely did not agree with what the fuck happened when it went awry, but too many were a part of it, and too many didn't say something or do something when they should have. The media didn't do something when it should have.
As I slept, looters were ransacking the shop. They shot and killed David in cold blood, and then live streamed his execution and his last moments on Earth. David's grandson was watching the video on Facebook in real time, not realizing he was watching his own grandfather dying on the sidewalk. I learned of all this around 4 a.m. when our doorbell rang.
Shit.
The chief of police was standing outside. I wondered why Dave had not answered the door. It wasn't uncommon for him to be up watching TV at this time. I called out to him several times. There was no reply. He just wasn't there. I let in the chief, and fighting back tears, he uttered the words every officer's spouse dreads. I relive that horror in my mind every single day. My hope is that having you relive it with me now will help shake this country from this nightmare we're witnessing in our cities and bring about positive, peaceful change. How do we get to this point where so many young people are callous and indifferent towards human life? This isn't a video game where you can commit mayhem and then just hit reset and bring all the characters back to life. Dave is never coming back to me. He was murdered by people who didn't know and just didn't care. He would have done anything to help them. Violence and destruction are not legitimate forms of protest. They do not safeguard black lives. They only destroy them. President Trump understands this, has offered federal help to restore order in our communities. In a time when police departments are short on resources and manpower, we need that help. We should accept that help.
I don't think they're short on resources and manpower, besides where they're at.
We must heal before we can affect change. But we cannot heal amid devastation and chaos. President Trump knows we need more Davids in our communities, not fewer. We need to come together in peace and remember that every life is precious.
There you go. That's what your fancy little riots did. Unreal.
How much time did you...
Too much. Don't ask. So, all that because of one man's death. Now, nobody I've talked to about this that says he was killed because he was black has watched this footage. And they won't watch it. Oh, just turn that shit off. I don't want
Which one?
This is the cops walking out of the store.
All right.
Where they had accused George Floyd of having a counterfeit $20 bill, apparently. And this is them walking out.
We're going to be out with Minnesota. BRJ, Roy Robert John 026 at 38th Street.
I'm right here, pal.
Hey, all right, I appreciate that, man.
I'm a cool bro. That's it.
Put your hand up!
Let me get over here, sir.
No, you're going to stay right there for me.
They're being dicks right here. They're being
Dress
dicks.
up, man. Being,
Now you got one more back here.
it's a lady.
The lady?
Yes, sir. Giving us a ride.
It's her car?
No, it's his other friend called, sir. She giving her and I a ride.
Yeah. All right. So it's whose car? Your friend's car, you said?
It's his friend's car. Her name, I forget. Her name is I forgot her name, but I know his co-worker, and he was giving her and I a ride. This young lady right here.
Yeah.
And I a ride.
Okay.
We just waiting on him.
All right. You stepped here? Or what stopped you here at Cup Coach?
I've been busy with Adam. I was trying to buy me a laptop.
All right.
And I did buy one, but it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So he gave me my change back. He can ask him. You can ask him.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
I'm just making sure you're just...
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep, I appreciate that.
I didn't know, man. Adam knows, bro.
Stay here. You take a seat in that car. Get in the car.
Yes, sir.
Not moving.
So this is when they pulled George Floyd out. And he's been erratic. Said, please, please, please. I don't know if you heard him. All the time. From the second they opened the door.
Put your hands behind your back then.
Which I don't know why they opened the door. Because they really, I don't know. Because I don't think they have the right to. I'm not sure if they do. That's why I'm saying I don't think they do. But it depends on state laws and all that shit.
Hey, you come back. Stay in the car. Stop resisting, man. Yes, you are. Stand up.
Please, man.
Stand up for me. Stand up.
He's not resisting. She's not resisting.
Come on, walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me.
He's fucking overwhelmed. That's obvious. He's clearly not in the right fucking state. He's freaking the fuck out. But he's not resisting. He's just, like, it's a delay or something. Like, he's freaking the fuck out and he's tuning them the fuck out. He's not like, fuck this cop, like, blah, blah. That's not it.
Stand up.
Why you doing me like this?
Stand up. Come on. We're trying to get out of the street here so you don't get hit by a car. Take a seat. Sit down for me.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
Now sit down.
They got back up.
God.
They always gotta bring the fucking backup. And the backup didn't do shit. And all four of those cops should be charged. Because guess what? A getaway driver gets charged with murder. When there's a murder and a robbery, the getaway driver gets charged. Why would not all these cops charged? I don't know, man. At the same time, I don't think it was intentional. Because like I said, George Floyd said he couldn't breathe from about 30 seconds from now to the time that he died.
Sit all the way down.
Yes,
Let
sir.
me down.
Yes, sir. I will. Hey, man. Please, man.
You got an ID on you?
I got one at home.
All right, what's your name?
George.
George?
George Barry Floyd. I don't know what's going on. Man, that's it.
Spell it for me.
Everybody said we watched that 8 minutes. Yeah, well, you didn't watch 20 minutes.
G-E-O.
Yep.
The 30 minutes.
R-G-G.
Last name?
Floyd. Oh, man. F-L-O-Y-D.
F-L-O-Y-D?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
October 14th.
October 14th?
73. Man, I got shot last night, man.
You mind doing me a favor? Just run.
Man.
George Floyd. Thank you.
He was looking so. I don't want no problem. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Man, you know why we're here?
Why?
We're here because it sounds like you gave a fake bill to the individuals in there.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yes.
And you know why we pulled you out of the car? Because you was not listening to anything we told you.
I know what's going on.
You listen to us and we will tell you what's going on, all right? When you're moving around like that, that makes us think way more is going on than we need to know.
Right. And that's all I have is officers.
Gotcha, all right. I'm going to put you in the back of the squad, all right?
Okay, good. Let's talk to you. Let's get.
Yeah, we're going to sort all this out, all right?
Hey, man.
Is that your car key?
It's my sister.
Key fob right there?
Yes, sir. I got one problem.
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to that for you, all right? Stand up.
Hey, man. All right. That's weird. Like right now, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, and look at you still able to reach your side. You're making me nervous.
Get it.
Yeah, I got you. We'll fix all that. We'll fix all that, but you got to walk with me.
Oh,
Are you on something right now?
no, I'm not.
Because you acting real erratic.
Man, I'm scared, man.
You
God.
got foam around your mouth, too?
Yes. Yes, I was just moving earlier. Okay. Man, what up? All right, come on, check on now. This feels a little better now. All right, okay. Come, give me one favor, man.
And we're going to talk about that once we get to the car. Stop moving around. Yeah, just unlock the door for me.
I did that.
Stand up. Stop falling down.
I'm claustrophobic, man.
Stand up.
I'm claustrophobic.
Stay on your feet and face
He's
the...
claustrophobic, so he can't go in the backseat of the cop car when he's under arrest for giving counterfeit $20 bill. Which I'm pretty sure anybody would go to jail for until they figure out what happened, and then you have your court date.
The car door.
especially when the owner or the clerk or whatever identifies you as the person who gave the counterfeit bill. You're gonna go to jail. You're getting put in the back seat, no matter if you're claustrophobic or not.
Leave the door open. Leave the door open. No. Man, you ain't listening to nothing we're saying, so we're not gonna listen to nothing you're saying. I'm claustrophobic, brother.
See, that's what the fuck. You're not listening to nothing we're saying, so we're not gonna listen to nothing that you're saying. You're here to protect and serve. Fuck you mean you're not gonna listen?
I hear you, but you're gonna face this door right now.
I don't know anything. I don't believe you got anything, man. I'm not a victim, man. I'm not. I'm not. You have to. Ain't nothing you. God, man, I'm gonna be making a good job. God, what's going on like this? Look at my ears, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the kind of guy.
Sit still.
He's freaking the fuck out, dude.
I'm not the kind of guy, bro.
I don't remember what he was on, but he was on a couple things.
Please, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just not claustrophobic. Please.
Anything sharp on you?
I won't do the work out.
Do you have anything sharp on you?
Sir.
Not even like a comb or nothing?
I'm nothing. Why y'all people be like this? I don't need that. It's looking for me or something, man.
Stand up straight.
I'm claustrophobic for real, thousand. Please.
Like, I've been handcuffed by the cops and, like, they put me up against the car and fucking searched me. Like, that's, oh, man, I'm sitting there like, yes, sir, no, sir, like, no, I was just going here, blah, blah. Like, this isn't how you act. But at the same time, you don't put somebody on the ground. You just kept him in the backseat of the car and took him to fucking jail.
Crackers for me, please.
Yes, sir. Crackers.
Stay with me, man. Stay with me, man. Thank you. God, man. I didn't know this was gonna happen, man. Please, man. I just want my hands free. I don't want to do none of y'all, man. Nothing.
There you go. Inside
And I understand.
on your side.
And I'm listening. And I understand that people do stuff. And y'all don't know me.
Take a seat.
Okay.
Why are you having trouble walking?
Because my hands are hurting. Please, man. Please don't do that.
Take a seat.
I'm going in.
No, you're not.
I gotta go in.
Take a seat.
I ain't got no believe me, dog.
Take a seat.
I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy, man.
Take a seat.
No, I'm a diet.
Take a
I'm
seat.
a diet, man.
You need to take a seat right now.
And I just had COVID, man. I don't want
That's very eerie.
to go into that.
Take a seat.
Roll the windows
No.
down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down
Please,
and put your
man.
legs in, alright?
Y'all,
I'll put the air on.
look at that.
Look, you're not even listening.
Look at it.
We can fix it, but not while you're standing out here.
Man, God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to try to win. I don't want to win. We just go talk. I can't
Get in the car.
You know it. You know it to the top. Y'all hear me? Don't do me like that, man.
Get in the car.
Okay, can I talk to you, please?
Yes, you get in this car. We can talk.
I am a dog. I'm claustrophobic.
I'm telling you, you're not working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
Get in the car.
You
Get in the car.
in the front? Please.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
front.
claustrophobic.
At this point, he's resisting. You gotta get in the fucking car. You're going to jail. You're under arrest.
In the car.
Okay, man, okay? I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Please,
I don't think that's the way to get him in the fucking car.
please, please.
I mean, he's not running away, and he's not swinging or kicking, so that's excessive.
Take a seat.
Please, man, please. Oh, no, take a seat. I can't choke. I can't breathe, Robert.
I can't breathe.
Please, please. My wrist.
So I tell so many people that he said that in the backseat of the car. But you're lying. No, I'm not. I'm just looking at it objectively. Like,
My wrist, man. My wrist, man. On the ground.
He's definitely on something, and now he's resisting.
Let go of me, man. I can't breathe.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please listen to me.
Is he going to jail?
Listen to me.
He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I tell you.
Can we figure out what's going on?
For this what?
Take him out.
For what? Please, man.
Hey.
I can't fucking breathe.
Hey, come on out.
Thank you.
Get him down the ground. Stay on the ground. On the
There's
ground.
Derek Chauvin who's got his hand on his mouth.
My
And there he is on the ground now.
Right.
You got your
There he is with his knee on his neck.
restraint. Towel.
I
Okay.
can't breathe.
Grab that.
There's no need for that.
Jesus.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Stop moving.
Mama. Mama.
Yeah,
Mama.
sit there.
Mama.
One of the front couches.
Mama.
On my right side bag.
Mama. Mama.
Got the rest guy.
All right. All right. Oh my God.
All right, go to
I
jail.
can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this, man. Mama, I love you. Please, I love you. Tell my kids I love them.
My son is listed. It's labeled.
I can't breathe for nothing, man. It's cold-blooded, man. Ah, 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 Mama, I love you. I can't do nothing.
Yeah, you missed it on the way.
My face is gone. I can't breathe, man. Please. Please understand.
No.
Please, I can't breathe.
Get up on the sidewalk, please. One side or the other, please.
My face is getting bad.
Yeah, so get his legs up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, just leave him. Just leave him. Leave him. Yeah, just leave him.
Ah.
Alright. Parkinson's and everything.
Look at my face, man.
I believe so. We're trying to fight.
Get out of the car.
I hate you, Mr. Please. Please, man, whatever. I can't breathe.
You're doing fine. You're talking fine.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I know that feeling. Being pinned the fuck down, dude, not being able to move. Like, literally, that shit is. That is reason for. They said he went into cardiac arrest and shit. He had a heart attack or whatever. That's probably why, because he did have his knee on his neck. And he's sitting there freaking the fuck out. I get the same way, like, fucking for real, dude. You can, like, anybody in that situation, like, but he was acting that way from the start. But especially once you get on the ground with the knee on you.
I'm about to die this thing. Relax. I can't breathe my face. Just get up.
What do you want?
I can't breathe. Please, the knee on my neck. I can't breathe shit.
He said, please get your knee off my neck.
I will. I can't move. Mama. Mama. I can't. Okay.
Is that the
All right.
shaking of the eyes, right?
Look at his arm on the
I'm through.
His eyes like shaking.
I'm through. I'm through.
I'm through.
I've got the food. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Every
Sitting
time.
there picking shit off the tire.
There's water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe.
You're not talking. A lot of
They will
yelling.
kill me. They will kill me, man. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. They will kill me. They will kill me. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Oh, she's supposed to act. He's fucking barely sitting there. How uncomfortable would you be? Put your fucking shit right there. Somebody should put Derek Chauvin like that. Motherfucker. Yeah. What's about to do?
I think he's messed up.
Why do you think he's not screaming out?
Yeah, I mean, good so far. My knee might be a little scratched, but that's about it.
Why are they not picking him up and putting him in the fucking cop car? Why are they sitting there?
Off of the sidewalk. Yeah, we need you to keep some distance.
Is he dead? He's dead.
He's not responsive right now, bro. No, bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro. Bro, are you serious? Is he breathing right now? Check his pulse. Check his pulse. Check his pulse.
They still sitting there with his knee on his fucking neck.
What do you think that is? You saw you call what he doing okay? You call what he doing okay? You call what you doing? You call what he doing okay, bro? Yes, I am. Bro, you think that's okay? Check his pulse.
He's not breathing. Oh, you can see it from right here. Right here. He's not breathing.
Check his pulse. The man ain't moved yet, bro. The man ain't moved yet, bro. Bro, you're a bum, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're definitely a bum, bro.
About 3:30, EMS is at Portland and 36. They were advised of
Bro,
closure.
he has not moved nothing.
I've called 3. Acknowledge him.
Copy, I was just getting you their updated location, their route.
He's dead. Still sitting over there on the ground. How much longer? Still. 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 He's been dead for over 2 minutes. Now they're putting him on a gurney. Still sitting there with his hand.
We gotta make them game on with the tan. Just you see that.
Look at he's dead, bro. He's dead, bro.
What's that?
Help get building down.
Yeah, they're in a real fucking rush to save his life. Look at the effort. Look at the effort. How long it take? He's already dead. He's been dead for 2 fucking plus minutes. "15 seconds.
Yeah. Stick with him. Yeah, stick with him. I'm on my phone, so I'll be back here. Sounds good. Belt it down. What's that? Help get belted down.
Takes them over 30 seconds to get him in the fucking ambulance and try to fucking use the defibrillators. Longer. I doubt they even did.
Lane, is this yours? Yeah. Nope. Sir? This one yours?
Sitting there ignoring the fuck out. "You just killed that man. You just killed that man. Who's this yours?" Just killed a man who gave a counterfeit bail.
Say again? Yeah. Let me talk to the other actor.
Scumbags. But anyways, that's the video, and that just goes back to the wonderful Cuomo twins, the Cuomo Wonder Twins. But yeah, all that in America didn't have to happen, and now look at how divided we are over it, over that one man's death. Those cops should have been charged accordingly, and that should have been the end of it. Oh. One more thing. You know, I was trying to do a short one here. That was the whole goal, but it's probably gonna be another 2-hour one.
I want you to stop saying that this is going to be about...
So much for being for the Constitution, right? After this, guys, it's peace out.
About the president. He's not going to solve this problem. You can argue the reasons why in different ways, but it doesn't matter. He says he's open to making changes, but he has yet to act in a real way. And this really shouldn't be all about him. All major movements in this country start with you. Not them, not the politicians. Sure, when they run, they all have plans and ideas and promises, thoughts and prayers, sympathy for those who suffer. They just rarely act on it because it really is for you to lead with your voices and your votes. And I believe there's reason for help. For one, we can't continue to be this stupid. It just defies common sense.
It defies common sense to put elderly people back in nursing homes when the president has fucking built 2 hospitals for your fucking piece of shit brother who did that and send them to nursing homes instead of the 2 hospitals that the president built, and then blame those deaths on the president. We can't be this stupid.
We have a clear consensus among Americans of wanting better and more protection. Second,
the way to protect yourself is with having guns.
We were in El Paso this week, right? I felt something different there. This country rejects hate, and the idea of white nationalism,
Well, I thought America's racist.
it's preying on a certain part of us, is unacceptable. And I believe your revulsion will force lawmakers to treat people...
So white supremacy now is the reason for gun violence. Well, fucking go. It's all about race.
People like them as the terrorists they are. People point to the '94 assault weapons ban as a model, but is it really? Barely found political consensus. It was like 216 and 214. And to be honest, it really was easily run around by manufacturers. So I would argue we've never really taken this on. And yet, change is obvious. What good argument did you hear tonight for why all gun sales should not be checked and that data really shouldn't be shared?
They are. But if they're not, then it was sold illegally. If that person gets caught, they will be charged accordingly.
Relevant agencies. These fears of some mystery database where they'll know what you have, and then when you have to go against the government someday, you'll be unprepared, ill-equipped.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Seriously. What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke.
100-round drums are no more necessary than bump stocks. And
why? Didn't civilians back in the 1700s have military-style weapons? And they had guns that could shoot off 100 rounds. Had literally 100 barrels on them. What's he talking about? Oh, that's right. He doesn't know. Once again.
Even this president found his way to banning those. The rules that state already that you have certain requirements to meet if you want a handgun, concealed, open carry permits, those questions, the affidavits, those say.
Honestly, I'm for constitutional carry. You should have to pass a background check. I don't think a person who has very violent gun charges should be allowed to own, but yeah.
Sales, if you just put those in place with every sale, you'd make a real difference in vetting who gets weapons and why. And we already have the infrastructure for it. And yes, letting families flag authorities about a loved one who seems determined to hurt themselves or others and remove their access to weapons, not forever, not in every case, that would help too. And it would be nice to track shootings federally. It'd be nice to know what's happening and where and by whom. And the reasons for doing none of these things are hollow at best and toxic in the main. If lawmakers don't like one or some, they do nothing. They use holistic to blow a hole in the idea of a solution. Right now there's a bill on Senator McConnell's desk. He won't even allow it to be debated. Now you have to wonder.
Because any gun law is unconstitutional.
If it had been migrants or Muslim extremists who were doing these mass shootings, do you think he would treat it the same way? Do you think this president would be so quiet? So,
yes, because you don't take guns away from American citizens for what other people have done. For psychos who illegally kill. Okay? Because legal gun owners can still walk into a fucking school and shoot it up. They just did it with a legal gun. So.
I believe it is down to you and what you demand. And I was reminded of the power of our people when I was in El Paso. That's why I'm holding this rock. I've been holding it all week. This woman named Alma gave it to me. She was personally affected by the El Paso massacre. But she was watching us and she was worried about us. So, in her grief, she goes and finds a rock that was heavy in her garden. She said it was important that it was heavy, so you feel the weight of it. And she paints it with Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Mother of Mercy. And she brings it to me.
So is he going to talk about actual statistics, any facts?
He says, I think,
or
you need this, keep this with you. It's heavy, and you should feel this weight on your heart because this matters. This is who we are. Americans love deeply, and they connect fully. Our real currency here isn't cash. It's community and compassion. That's what makes us who we are. Mm-hmm. We cry, and we...
Trump made the world's best economy with compassion. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Cringe. We don't want to be divided on being safe. We know there's every reason for us to come together. So I ask you to ignore the politics. Be open to options. But most importantly, you have to demand your leaders do their damn jobs. And remember,
and protect your right
we have
to
to be better
yourself.
on this because the problem is literally killing us. I want you to stop.
Well, folks, those are your Wonderful Cuomo Wonder Twins. Fucking pieces of shit, scumbag motherfuckers. There's a special place in hell for people like them. But, I've been the Young Conservative, and I appreciate y'all who watch, and we're gonna keep it going. I got gear on the way. It's gonna be way better next week. And yeah, thanks you guys. Peace.